So spring has finally sprung, and I actually committed and took the snowblower off the tractor. Two reasons. I don't think we're going to get any more snow. I've said that before. It snowed on Mother's Day here before. But I also have a job today. Today is the first paid job with the tractor of the 2025 summer. So we're going to get everything loaded up, and we're going to head over. It's not a huge job. We're moving 60 ton of fill, dirt fill, just beside a shop. Doesn't need to go far, but the guy just doesn't have a way to move it. So we're going to take the tractor with the box blade, bucket all the material, and then level everything off real nice with the box blade. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I'll talk more about it when we get there. All right, so we're here, and the material is behind me. Now, this is about 60 ton. It might actually be a little more. So we've got one tandem load here, a second tandem load there, and then there's a third tandem load behind. And like I said, it really doesn't look like that much from up top, but from down bottom you can see how much material is really here. So we need to take all of this material and it needs to get spread over behind the shop over there. They want to make this all a gradual incline, and essentially, you know, he wants to keep having material dumped here so he can feather this way out into the yard. But he can't have any more material dumped here until this stuff is out of the way for the dump truck to back up. So we're just gonna bucket it way over here and then grab the box blade and move everything today. I don't really know where to put this tripod camera, so we're gonna try right here. You can just see how much of a height difference. So I have that camera you guys are currently looking at 8 feet high right now. So just goes to show you, and you're sitting in the grass. So you're at 8 feet high and sitting in the grass, and you can see what an elevation difference there is. It's tough to show those kind of things on camera, but hopefully that helps. I kind of want to clear this area first, so I have a nice place to turn the machine and get in here. Oh, I also wanted to time this job, so it is currently 9 a.m. and we're about to get started. First bucket done. All right, let's get some of this pushed out with the box blade. All right, that's better. Yeah, that's good. I'm probably through the first truck, so we're making progress. This is a drop-off over here. I don't know if you could tell that. Why I'm moving so slowly. I'm in low gear because, well, the faster you move, the faster things go wrong. We're just gonna chug along. I think I'm gonna end up trying to shape most of this because, hi!
How are you?
I'm talking to my camera. I'm filming a little video. All right, I don't know if you heard me talking to her, but we're 15 minutes into this. We're doing good. I should honestly probably have my seatbelt on. My ROPS is locked. Yeah, let's keep the seatbelt on. All right, let's get some more box blade action here. right, things are going swimmingly well. We need to start trying to cut a slope in this, which it's difficult to do because it's so steep. And this grass down here is super wet. So bringing the tractor down here would be ideal to just start grabbing it, back dragging down. But I don't want to tear up their lawn, so I'm gonna try to side slope this thing and see how that goes. I don't know. We'll find out. I think I'll just, start down there. I don't know. Excavator would probably be a better option for this, but again, the grass is so wet, I would really tear things up. So, and I don't know if you could tell, it is super windy out here today. So, no drone, sorry. I don't love anything about this. Not enough room next to the shop to get the tractor straight, so I have to hit it at an angle, which makes everything want to tip, which obviously we're not trying to do that. Let's do some box blade pulling get some material from down there, start to try to bring it down this way. I gotta drop the tines a little bit. All right, let's try that. You know, I assume like probably like that angle is probably what you want the entire way, I assume, right? So you just don't have enough material right now. So once you start getting more trucks in, but I'm gonna start trying to shape this because there's enough material here, but down there, like pretty much where the barn starts is where you're gonna need more material. But like this, I should really be able to get shaped up really nicely and have it looking nice and get us a good foundation for it. And then when they drop more trucks in, if the base is already here, we'll just be able to follow it.
That's exactly what we talked about. So, and this looks awesome. I didn't mean to swear, but
no, that's fine.
It's just so very nice. I mean, awesome.
Yeah, well, this will all get, like, I'll get this all cleaned up so it'll look somewhat presentable. I'm not gonna leave it all in chunks for you. But yeah, I mean, it's still gonna be a drop off over here because you just don't have enough material, but it'll look clean. But it's still gonna be steep. Things are going pretty well, I think, for what we're dealing with. Slope and stuff. What is that? All right, so it's 10:12. I've been here for 1 hour. Well, hour and 12 minutes. I think I need to hit this with the box blade a little bit, level things out, make things nice and even. Every once in a while you want to do that just to keep things pretty, I guess. soft this grass is down here. Well, one tire mark is worth not flipping my tractor over. There. Alright, I don't know how much I can back drag and make a mess because I'm just making more ruts. The material's so soft because it's so early in the season. Box blade once this way, clean everything up this way, work my way out, give them somewhat of a nice finish, because I won't be here until they get more material. So I want to give them somewhat of a nice, you know, don't snap your ankle when you walk over it kind of thing. Yeah, I think this is acceptable for the amount of fill that we had. A couple more trucks, we'll really be able to fill this all in so it's a nice gradual slope, and I'll actually be able to side hill with the tractor. Once I can side hill with the tractor, then this thing will really start to smooth out, because I'll be able to hit it this way and then cross hatch it and get it nice and level. Almost tipped the tractor right here, so yeah. It was not ideal, and it's too soft to even bring anything down here to fix this with. So we'll just push it in like that and say sorry. Let's get that ball of concrete at least pushed to the edge. Yeah, this had to be part of a fence or something. We'll just get it pushed right up, tucked in here, and it can live. Oh yeah, it is a fence. Here's a piece of vinyl right there. Yeah, we'll tuck it right there, dump dirt on top of it. I know it's gonna be tough to tell on camera, but there is the final product for today. So yeah, remember there used to be a huge cliff here. Still pretty steep down there, but you know, it's workable now. It is a vast difference. Not vast deference, vast difference between what we started with and now what we've got. Here, I'll go down bottom. So yeah, like I said, still pretty steep right here, but down there, that's kind of what it's gonna look like. He wants to be able to mow this. I think maybe 2-3 more trucks and we should be in really good shape. Now, I did not bring a broom with me because I am wildly unprepared, but I bet you there's one in this barn here. Here's a broom. So before you say you really shouldn't be using the customer's stuff, you're probably right, but I actually know this couple fairly well. That's how they know to hire me. And that brings me to the next question. I've been here for an hour and 45 minutes, probably 2 hours by the time I'm done cleaning up here. 2 hours on the tractor. It's very close to my house. I did not have much travel time at all. How much would you charge for this? Normally, my tractor work, I charge $125 an hour with 30-minute setup, 30-minute tear down. So essentially 4-hour minimum, but you're only getting 3 hours of work out of it because I need to chain up, drive, stuff like that, at $125 an hour. Why am I so out of breath from brooming? I am not going to charge these guys a 4-hour minimum because I know them. Whether that's fair or not, I don't know. But I'm also one hand washes the other kind of guy. And the gentleman that owns this house has a brake lathe. And I get brake drums and brake discs turned all the time. So he kind of does that for free. But I also do some snow blowing in the winter for him. You know, that's how close we are. I do snow blowing for him, so if that tells you how close we are to my house. Another thing I wanted to touch on is skid steer versus tractor. Now I'm not talking mini skid steer because this would have taken all day with a mini skid steer. I know its limitations. I would have never done it with it. I'm talking full-size skid steer versus tractor and the operators of each. Now, I can run both, and I regularly do. Obviously, I own a tractor. I don't own a full-size skid steer, but I run one constantly. And what's funny about tractor versus skid steer, I find that most people that can run a tractor can run a skid steer just fine. However, I find that most people that only run a skid steer cannot run a tractor great. The reason being is, in a skid steer, you can see the front of your bucket, and you can see it quite well. In a tractor, generally speaking, you cannot. And I had this conversation with a friend of mine that runs a skid steer for his job, and he was on my tractor one day, and he said, I don't know how you do this. It's impossible. That's not impossible, I just did it. So, I'm just kind of rambling. I don't really know where I was going with that, but we're about cleaned up. There is definitely some hard dirt pressed onto his driveway here, but I do not want to scrape it with the tractor or the bucket and risk scraping the asphalt. Well, guys, I think that's going to be it for this one. I think it turned out pretty good. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below. We are at an hour and 50 minutes, so 2 hours. Get everything done. How much would you charge? Leave that comment. You know, keeping in mind, it's an older couple I know very well. It's close to my house. You know, I'm not trying to get rich off of them. That's for certain. So what would you charge? Would you stick to your minimums? Or would you run a deal for somebody? Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you on the next one.